Well, hi there, everyone. I just wanted to do a quick pop-in with our new friend, wonderful friend, Chief Mason, who you see probably more regularly, but not always on the station. We have sort of a public safety quick info we wanted to give you about the upcoming town meeting. Monday, May 5th is town meeting, and it begins promptly at 7, or as soon as they have a quorum from 7 on. And this year we have a little bit of a parking challenge. So we wanted to tell you ahead of time what was available to you so that when you decide and you have an informed decision. So Chief, can you tell me this year, what's different this year, where people are going to park versus last year?
Well, I'm sure you're well aware, everybody's well aware that we're building a new high school. And with that, that's changed the parking situation. In previous years, every year, as a matter of fact, we've always been able to use the large lot that was on the north side of the high school, right around White House Field, that went all the way back to the athletic fields as our overflow parking. And that lot now is completely unavailable due to the construction of the new Monomoy Regional High School. Luckily, this is only going to be a one-year event. Theoretically, by this time next year, the new parking areas should be open and correct the situation that we're facing this year. But that's going to really cause us some problems as far as parking. And this year, with our the warrant that we have, is we're expecting a very large turnout. And we're also expecting this to probably go at least 2, if not 3 nights for Monday, Tuesday, and Wednesday. So we wanted to make sure that people do understand. Now, one good thing is that we're still going to have the handicap parking designated up front, but be sure that you have your handicap placards, because if you do not have them, you will not be allowed into those lots. The second thing is that we have gained a little bit of additional parking with the new baseball fields that are right behind the community center. There's a couple of lots there that we would be able to do some overflow parking, but the vacant field area behind the community center obviously has the new baseball fields on it, and we can't park on those. So our next alternatives for overflow parking will be Town Hall parking lot and the Cranberry Valley Golf Course parking lot. Problem with those 2 lots is it's a little bit of a hike to get there, get from them to the community center. And mind you, again, as Barbara said, we're starting at 7 o'clock promptly, so you want to be here on time and get your seat and get yourself checked in for our important annual town meeting this year. So I think, Barbara, you have some ideas with how we're going to use Council on Aging buses to help with some of the transportation issues.
We do. We always offer the Council on Aging Cranberry Coach for anyone who does not want to drive at all to come to the town meeting, and we will still make that available. We're going to add an additional van this year, so we'll have 2 drivers and 2 vans. And they both will be available for pickup at your home if that's something that you desire. And if that's the case, we need to hear from you today, Friday, not like 5 minutes beforehand, if possible. And the other is that they will be shuttling people, much like you see when you go to ferries and other places. You park one place and they shuttle you to another. We will have them do loops through all of the parking lots. And if you're parked somewhere that you do need to walk, you're going to look for either the Friends of the Council on Aging bus or the Cranberry Coach van of the COA. Both of them will be doing those shuttles, so it shouldn't be more than a minute or 2 of taking people back and forth, and they will do as many at one time as possible so that it won't be one person and then come back and take 15 people. They'll get a group as much as possible as they can. So if you have parked up at Cranberry Valley and say, I don't know if I'm going to be able to get back and forth, another question we've gotten is, let's say I come to town meeting at 7 and I want to come for 4 articles because they're important to me and I'm not able to stay for whatever reason, I have children at home or something else, and I want to leave. You don't have to obviously wait to get back to your car with the shuttle until 11 o'clock or whenever town meeting ends. We will have the van drivers, at the ready, so to speak, so that if you do need a ride back to your car at 8 o'clock or 9 o'clock or before the town meeting's over, they certainly can shuttle you back to your vehicle. So if you can get to the community center and you get here early enough and are lucky enough to get a parking space, great. But if you are in one of the overflow lots this year, the Cranberry Coach and the Friends of the Council on Aging buses will both be shuttling people back and forth. And they're quite comfortable. They're not like a school bus, and we do have a lift on one of them to get into. So if you are a person who does drive but maybe uses a cane or a walker or some assistive device, we would put you on the Cranberry Coach and get you in and out nice and easily.
Well, now, I know that none of our community is ever late to town meeting. But if they happen to be a little bit late, I'm assuming that the Cranberry Coach is going to be running a little bit past 7 o'clock.
Oh yeah, it will
and
keep
making
going.
sweeps through there. So if you think you're going to be a little bit late, we don't want that to discourage you from coming to a town meeting. Town meeting is a very important part of our community, and we can't do enough to encourage everybody to participate, and we do not want concerns over parking to dissuade anybody from not coming to town meeting. It's just incredibly important that everybody hears so we can know what the town wants on several very important issues that are facing our community this year.
We also have available, thanks to our wonderful recreation department, childcare is available. You do need to call them ahead of time, and you just call Harwich Recreation Department, and Sue Frazier has been kind enough with their director, Eric Beebe, to offer that every year. And so what happens is you would come with your child, and they provide snacks and some movies and some things to occupy the kids during the time frame that you're at town meeting. So there really isn't, unless you're working or you're medically compromised, there really isn't any reason not to attend town meeting. And this is your town, you know. A lot of people will say, I always feel like I don't have a say. You do have a say. You have your hand and you have your mouth, and both of them you can use on town meeting floor to vote or to make comments or ask questions. So we definitely urge you to come. We're now providing a way for you to get from one location to here. We also have childcare here. And hopefully we'll see as many people as possible on town meeting floor.
One other thing I'd like to caution people about is because of the construction, the topography or the way the land is laid out is quite a bit different. And if you drive through here during the day, you'll see it very clearly. But for example, when the entrance that used to go to the White House field area, that's going to be blocked off with a chain link fence, so you couldn't get back there if you wanted to. However, it used to be in years past that people would park on the grass right in the entrance. You don't want to do that anymore because they've dug a big drainage culvert in there, and if you try to park there, you might not see your car again for a few weeks until the tow truck can haul it out of there. So I really want to caution people to make sure that if they do decide to park in an area that they were used to, that they're very, very careful. And also there's going to be some drainage ditches and what have you around the site that I want people to use a little bit of caution and make sure that they know where they're stepping. Also, the police department will be having ancillary lighting there and cones and barricades and what have you to try to keep people out of those areas that might cause them some difficulties. We'll also have police officers out there for directing traffic and to assist you in any way that they possibly can.
One of the other things that happened at last year's town meeting, I think it was, I tell people, please come in your comfortable clothing. I'm not saying, you know, dress like you're going to work out or something, but a wonderful woman was coming across exactly the area that you're talking about that we won't be able to use this year, had parked there and had what I would call, you know, Sunday going to church shoes on. You know, a chunky, good size heel, probably about 85 years old or thereabouts, coming across, slipped about 5 feet in front of me, slipped and lost balance, and I, you know, bolted up and grabbed both elbows before the person went down. Please wear sneakers or comfortable walking shoes. Now, you might say that those kind of chunky shoes are comfortable for you, but town meeting, especially the first night, is probably going to be fairly long. So if you need to sit on a cushion, bring the cushion. If you can wear comfortable clothing and shoes, it would definitely behoove you because you want to be comfortable and you definitely want to be safe when you're walking.
Absolutely.
And chunky older person shoes are really not that safe at nighttime trying to traverse this area.
Especially now with the softer shoulders and things that have been turned up. Because I couldn't agree more.
Yeah, we don't want anybody to
I
fall.
definitely am going to leave my chunky older person shoes home.
I fit in that category too, by the way, even at 52. So, So it's not a diss on older people. I just want to make sure that people are comfortable and safe. And the lighting certainly will help. So please take advantage of what we're offering, and don't think that it's, you know, for disabled people. It's for very able-bodied people. It could be a 20-year-old that gets on the van. So please don't hesitate to come. We want you to be here at town meeting with us.
Thank you, Barbara.
Thank you. Thanks for tuning in.
Yeah.